Skype Skype fell off hard.
Bro, we would play Fortnite, and he would want to use Skype, and it was the worst shit ever, bro.
It was so bad. I just think Fortnite's better. Yo, can we play Fortnite while we do the podcast?
I mean, yeah, just don't like.
We all get in the game and like we play and then we talk, and because like that's how like genuine conversation like forms over Fortnite.
Then it's not really. That's not really a podcast at that point. That's just.
Dylan, that's the lamest shit, bro.
Nah. It's fire. Because like
what do we even call it? Fortnite with the boys.
No,
that's what it is now.
No.
Fortnite with the boys.
Shut up, God. Anyways, I have a better name. Big Men Gaming.
I'm having a fucking cramp.
No, we're not doing Big Men Gaming.
Dude,
Why are you so cringe, man?
Dude, what is wrong with Big Men Gaming, bro?
Dylan, why are you the way you are? Like,
Dude,
shut up.
I'm just saying,
God
Big
damn
Men
it.
Gaming goes
Fuck
crazy.
your damn Fortnite, you bitch.
Big Men Gaming is insane, bro. Listen.
Dylan, you're the only guy here that's big, you fat bitch.
Okay, at least I'm not anorexic like you. Fucking stick
Dylan,
ass.
I'd rather be anorexic than
I literally build a pickaxe with you in Minecraft, bro.
Stop playing with me.
Dude, I'm gonna put you in a crafting table and make a sword out of you.
Go right ahead. I like that. Chop me right in half.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Really took an Andrew L there.
Shiver me timbers.
Margrashata about me. They won't leave my head. Damn, anybody did she tell y'all she's schizophrenic there?
I'm quivering in my members
Why?
because I saw a guy.
You a little scared,
Yeah.
Sam?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, I was talking to George about this. I think I need to date more men
Okay, why?
because
But why men though?
they're cute.
So you'd rather have a juicy dick than a fucking hairy vagina?
Mm, yeah.
That's what you would prefer, a juicy cock?
Yeah.
Why?
Because men on top. All right, listen, Josh.
But
You gotta
cocks
learn.
stink and vaginas don't.
But anal goes crazy.
No, anal's ass. I had it like one time when I was like 7. That shit was terrible.
What the fuck? Nick got back to me on Snapchat.
Like, I got fucked up, bro.
You got fucked?
Oh, he's
Yeah.
at home. He's at freaking
It was
home.
terrible.
He's at
Nick
home.
needs to get his crusty at in here, bro.
Yeah, okay. So tell him to join if he's out.
He's not home.
Oh, he's not home?
I told him we're gonna be on for a few hours, so he'll make a guest appearance sometime within the next hour or two.
Dude, Nick's really taking an Andrew L here.
All right, well, I
Andrew
guess let's open up the discussion. So, I want some thoughts on Nick saying that America is the unhealthiest country in the world.
Well, when you look at all the fucking obese people, that's a fact. That's a fucking fact.
I mean, yeah, that kind of happens.
Because I agree, America is really fucking unhealthy. I agree. It's unhealthy in a lot of ways. You got fucking.
I think the financial. Wait, my bad. You go.
Oh no, you good? What about the financial?
I think the financial situation too with this, because you know how fast food is cheaper than sitting down, and fast food is generally just unhealthy.
Yeah.
So that really
they thrive on that stuff. Yeah, and they thrive on that stuff. Like obviously, economically, we're fine, because we have all those industries, we have all those fast food places. But the turnaround is, it causes a lot of freaking obesity and like a lot of real world issues in our country.
Yeah.
Do you agree,
That's
Dylan?
true.
Personally,
Mm-hmm.
I think the real reason behind obesity is the wage gap.
The wage gap. Okay, go deep into that.
Okay, so basically, think about it. Women get paid less. All right. So all right. So basically, women get paid less. All right. And if you look at the average woman entrepreneur, do you see do you see a lot of women entrepreneurs?
No, I do not.
No. Women get paid less.
Yeah,
Women.
But I want to say it's because they're women, though. I want to go that far. You have to consider education. You have to consider, like degrees, the status of the institution.
Yeah. And those institutions are kind of sexist, and that's that. But think about this: women get paid less. Wage gap exists. All right. That's the staple we're going with. So then, the women that get paid less, how are they supposed to cook if they can't buy the stuff? They can't buy like ingredients. So boom, they had to buy fast food. And then they no. They circulate a ton of money into fast food, and fast food, gets big and bloated, and boom, and the industry just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
But women can still live off of their wages, though. They aren't being paid to an extent where they can't live off their wages.
Yeah, true.
It's
but
because
they're getting paid less.
But why? Okay, let's say they do get paid less. You can't. I wouldn't say it's a sexist aspect because you can't prove sexism here.
Yeah, you can't prove racism, can't prove sexism. You can only, guess.
It's all opinion. It's all narrative.
Well, then what's your explanation on why women get paid less?
Maybe education, maybe work ethic. Those kind of situations.
Listen. I've met a lot of women who have good work ethic. But my mom, she's cop. She was gonna get a promotion one day. And, she worked there for a while. She did not get that promotion. Some random guy got it, who worked there for 3 years less than her.
But why did that guy get it?
I don't know.
And I said that just assuming they get paid less. Women getting paid less really isn't it's very controversial.
Yeah.
I think there is to a degree. There is I think the wage gap is definitely a thing, but like I've always said, I just don't think it's as common as a lot of people see it. And that just could be me and my, bad eye, and I'm just not, looking, enough. But, but no, I do agree to an extent. I do think that, women do tend to get paid a lot more less than men because I guess there is a societal standard that they are, usually the ones in the kitchen and the ones that are washing the dishes, and the husbands are generally the ones that are working. Now, as for that contributing to obesity, I don't know how to go with that, but you are right, Dylan. I mean, women do have a higher prevalence of obesity. The statistics say that women have an 11.5% chance of severe obesity and men 6.9. So I don't know if your rationale falls under that. It probably does, I mean, shoot, college people, huh?
That's a pretty big gap.
Yeah. And then when you also think, there's also an age differential, I mean, if I were to guess, it would probably be, let's see, by age, let's see. So it's more common in, let's see, it looks like older adults maybe. But also childhood obesity is a real problem, so it's also, you also got to leverage in all of those. But no, I agree to an extent what Dylan has to say. I do think the gender gap or the wage gap may play a certain role in that because I mean when you think about it, if you're not financially well, you're probably going to have to resort to cheaper more sodium infused food like ramen and fast food and stuff like that. But I don't know how that would appear on a statistic, but I agree.
The thing is, what Dylan was saying, with the wages that women do earn, whether they're being paid less or not, like you could still, I would say you could still afford healthy food to consume with that wage.
Healthy food is a lot more expensive than.
You could still go to Walmart or Sam's or wherever. Still buy fruit, buy healthy bread to eat as a sandwich, buy whatever healthy food you want. Really.
Yeah. All right. So basically, this is a little capitalism. Basically, you see organic fucking sugar in the in the aisle, and it's organic, but it costs more. But then you see the regular sugar that you want, like that you always buy, and it costs a little less, but it's unhealthy. So which one do you buy? The healthier one, or the healthy one that's more expensive, or the fucking unhealthy one? Like, which one? Which one do you buy?
Well, obviously the organic one.
The organic one that costs more.
Yeah, but they could still afford it.
But
here's the thing: since you're making it sound like women get paid to an extent where it's like not, it's terrible living conditions for them. I would say that you would have to pretty much balance out what you're buying to make it like livable, which I would say you can do.
Yeah.
Right, you have to take into consideration, other expenses, your car, phone bills, any, housing bills, whatever. Yeah, you also have to take those into account. That's why generally the budget for food is like a little bit lower, because all the other expenses kind of just pile on top of it, Shoot, I think my mom and our budget is like at least $100 a week, and that's with her, that's with her making like a really decent amount of money a year. We still don't even spend that much money on food, because it's like there's all these other expenses that are going up at the moment. So it's like, yeah. Also,
inflation.
Yeah, what?
8.8%.
Mm-hmm.
Inflation's another thing you could bring into this conversation.
Absolutely. And also, organic food is a fucking scam. Don't spend your extra money on that. There's no point.
So wait, you don't think you don't think it's as organic as people make it seem?
No, it's not.
Well, the thing is, unfortunately, like, it's food that's produced without any pesticides, anything, any freaking chemicals, hormones, anything like that. But it's just not worth it, because it says here, on average, the price tag on organic is 40% higher than conventional produce. So that means you're paying 47% more than what you initially pay for produce. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't think it's worth spending that extra money for just to get that USDA symbol on there. I don't think it's worth it,
Yeah. I see what you mean.
In reality, they have to use something to grow those. They have to they have to use something in them, It's not going to be, it's never, in my opinion, I just don't think it's always going to be 100% organic. There's always going to be something in there, because
organic, farm raised.
You think government's lying to us, the FDA?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I just think that no, because I don't think they sell it as 100% organic. I just think that they, and maybe there is 100% organic stuff. I don't know. I'm not like the produce police. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, in order to grow this stuff, in order to keep track of all of it and distribute it in bulk, they need something, to keep it preserved. They need something like that, because otherwise, you're just losing money at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think these companies and these farm branches, I don't think they're stupid. I don't think they're stupid. So I think they're maybe they would find a way to keep their produce intact and keep it from rotting out and stuff like that. Well, at the same time, they can sell it as organic, because
companies and rising prices.
Yeah,
inflation.
I mean, this isn't like, this is just basic marketing. I mean, companies want the best of both worlds. You know, they want to be able to make all the money and spend the least amount of money possible, and they want to be they don't want to waste anything. You know, that's just how companies have always been. You know, they want to be on top. You know,
Profit over anything else, really.
You guys know about shrinkflation?
Wait, I didn't hear.
Shrinkflation, basically, with rising inflation, like a lot of companies tend to make their products smaller so that it cuts back on production costs.
Production costs, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Pringles. If you look up it's a bunch of Reddit stuff. Basically, if you look, there's this picture, and it's like the older bag of Pringles. It was like it was big, and like the chip was like a lot bigger. That now, like the current fucking thing of Pringles is like skinnier and slimmer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and like the chip is smaller. It's like they're cutting back on costs.
Yeah,
And, they're hoping people won't notice.
a lot of places are doing that. Cane's is doing it. Because I think I told you guys when I went to Cane's, the chicken tenders were significantly smaller than they used to be, and that is
wait,
because,
are they actually?
yes.
I haven't had Cane's in a minute, so I don't know.
That I've been, yes, they are a lot smaller than they used to be. The fries are also like a little more smaller, and like, a lot, they give you a little bit less. Yeah. And that is because, they're trying to accommodate by not having give us a higher price. They're going to keep it at the base price. But they're just going to give us a little less for it. And what Cane's has also done is they've actually raised their prices by a little bit, so it's, and they're doing that, because they have to accommodate on costs. There's nationwide shortages on everything. There's a shortage on turkey right now, And
there's a shortage on meat, chicken. So chicken, turkey, there's baby formula. All these different things.
And it's nuts. It's nuts. But I mean, I see what they're doing, and I'm not against what they're doing. I mean, shit. Again, this is they have to make money somehow.
Yeah.
Now, if it didn't hurt their production or hurt anything, then that's where like problems are coming, because it's like, if it's not even hurting your production, at that point you're just taking advantage of it, But if it's something that is hurting their production and hurting stuff like that, then that's that's just something they have to do. It's not their fault.
See, inflation's tough, dude. It's tough.
Oh yeah, it's really tough.
Technically, we're in a recession. Technically, since we had 2 consecutive quarters of decline, that's technically a recession.
Right.
But there's also positives to the economy too, like stagnant wages, job growth, unemployment rate, all these other things that are positive. So I mean,
right,
you can really think of it how you want.
Speaking of inflation, a lot of people are blaming Biden for inflation, but that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about, a picture, because you guys had a little opinion that I want to talk about. Okay. I want to chime in. Yeah. So Josh, a while ago, he was talking about, how he felt that the picture with Biden standing in front of the White House, and it was like the red and black, lights. It was kind of satanic and evil. Yep. Now I see that, and I'm like, I want the government to do that more,
Okay.
And the reason I want to do that is because, listen, America as a country has been very hiddenly evil for a while, we all know America's like kind of corrupt, but but I think if the government just plays into that bit a little harder, that we get fucking Biden, some fucking soldiers on the side of him, and it's like fucking Star Wars while the fucking like jets are flying over. I feel like that could be really cool. It's like an intimidation factor, Who's gonna fuck with America when our president is just openly evil? Like, dude.
But you don't want an evil president, though.
South Park did an interesting take
Jesus
on
Christ, not South
this.
Park.
No, but in this episode they did this whole thing about 9/11 and about the conspiracy theories about 9/11, who did a 9/11, who was the cause of 9/11, you know, who did it, who was, you know,
there's
who
so
was the
many,
culprit.
bro. There's so many.
And in the episode, you know, and South Park is always, you know, about their hot, you know, takes. They always have like a take about something, and they always paint that in their show. And in this episode, yeah, the president, who at the time was George Bush, he was literally like, yeah, that's what he was saying. You know, I'm not saying this is exactly what it is, but like, yeah, it's a real issue that people have like, you know, takes about, is that the government, and they, you know, and intimidation tactics, and that, you know, having people fear the government is like the most powerful thing that you can do, because when you fear the government, you're basically like kneeling down to them, and you're obeying them. You're not gonna mess with them if you perceive them as above you and fearsome. You're not gonna mess with them. And like in the episode, yeah, that's how George Bush was. He was like, oh, we have to make America think that we did 9/11, because if they think we did 9/11, they'll fear us, and they'll be scared of us, you know. So they were with the conspiracy theories, because they were like, look, if people genuinely think that we did it, you know, they should think it, because then that gives all power to us, you know. So yeah, that's real shit right there.
I'm not saying like the government should just be openly monarchs or anything, but like I'm saying, like, if the government is just like 100% concrete with us and like clear that like, hey we're going like fuck up some people in Guatemala real quick. And you know, I feel like that could build a lot of trust between the average like person who works in the fucking government. I'd respect the American like political system a lot if like Biden came on TV and he was like, "Yo, what's up, guys? Today we're sending some troops to fucking Iraq. Gonna go gun them down again. No, they took an L from us. They took an L. We're gonna hand them another one."
Oh God.
I feel like
what's up?
Biden promised he was going to unite this country, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was clearly a lie. Yes, MAGA Republicans have made mistakes, but I cannot say I agree with him with saying they are like the enemies of the state. These are just people with opinions.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not going to say
that's what everyone is, you know. They're just people with opinions. It just depends on how far you take the opinions that like it really gets people questioning, you know. Because as I've always said, you know, I don't like people who are radicals on either side, because, you know, being someone that likes to see both sides of everything, and for some reason that's like a really hated thing, and like in today's world, like seeing both sides of something is like terrible, you know. But what happens is, you know, you're extreme on one side, and you fail to see problems on your own side, and you fail to see issues on your own side, and like you're just constantly regurgitating information that's being thrown up into your mouth. You know, you're being fed like a baby bird, and then you just constantly spew that shit out. And that's an issue that I have with that, and that I've always conveyed. You know, it's just that that's not right. You know,
right?
You can't polarize, you know, some issues. You know, and there are some issues that it's like, okay, there's a definite right or wrong, but most issues, like, you just have to have enough context. You just have to look at everything, and then you have to be like, okay, so what do I know about this, you know, and, you know, how can I form a feasible opinion that's like, you know, it kind of intertwines both sides, because obviously both sides, they have a significant amount of evidence. You know, they have a degree of evidence, and they have a degree of like support with their claims, but it's just that they take it all the way to their side, and it's like, that's not always the case. You can't always do that, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's what's troubling, right? Especially like with the extremists.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because, don't be honest with me.
Yes,
Were you thinking of January 6th when Biden was making that statement?
I did not watch the statement at all.
So January 6th clearly had a big part in it. And the thing is, I don't agree with January 6th, obviously, but not every MAGA Republican. I can't say that every MAGA Republican thinks the insurrection was okay.
Was okay.
It was rational. It was moral. It was rational.
Mhm.
Right? You can be a Republican. You can support, say a portion of Trump's policies, like energy independence, maybe pro law enforcement. Right? These are you can disagree with what certain law enforcement's actions, right? But you can possibly say it's a good idea to support law enforcement, right? They're serving us. They're trying to protect us, and I just can't I can't say I agree with Biden's statement.
What did he say? I didn't even watch it. So I don't know.
He said that MAGA Republicans are America's enemies generally.
All right.
With
So
with a red background, and I think it was U.S. Marines in the background as well.
it was kind of fire though. Like you gotta admit, it was kind of like fire on some level.
People can argue that it was similar to Adolf Hitler's statements.
Hey,
There's many memes of that.
listen. At the end of the day, Adolf commanded a level of respect. Seeing fucking
He commanded a level of respect.
a level of respect. But no. I want to talk about the real enemy to America.
And who's that?
Old people.
Oh God.
So like
Old-
with congressional? Or?
No, just old people in general. I
Old
feel like
psychology is a very interesting thing.
I feel like we need to take all the old people on Facebook, particularly with like political takes, and we grab them and we put them all in a hole and we bury them underground. All right. Because if you think about it, think about like how many bags of bones are just in like office and like how much space that would clear up. Like think about if we just got some nice young people to replace the old decrepit Skeletor looking motherfuckers in fucking pop power. And imagine if our president, instead of being Biden, fucking the fucking 600, 900-year-old white guy, old graying hair, about to fall down the stairs to his fucking private jet looking ass. Imagine instead if we had a 21-year-old Mexican guy.
Well, no, he shouldn't be 21. That's ridiculous.
But think about it.
Well, 21, maybe.
21-year-olds can be kind of cool.
But isn't the brain like fully developed at 23?
Yeah, and that's why. Listen, America's not fully developed. So if we get someone like whose brain isn't fully developed in office,
21 and they have like a PhD in fucking like politics or some shit, maybe. But like, there's a level. I feel like there's a level of credibility that comes with people with experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like people with experience feel like they're so much better than everyone else because
true.
they've dedicated their life. They've dedicated their
agree.
lives to like doing everything.
I agree. No, I actually agree with that sentiment too. I think that people with experience tend to have this ego, that's like, hey, look, I've been in this industry longer than you, and it's just like, okay, but are you capable of doing with what you're supposed to do? That's the real question. And that's actually an interesting thing that I've talked about, like with promotions and shit like that, like with my mom, because it's like, dude, there are some people out there that like genuinely believe that, like, hey, I may not be able to do what the promotion suggests, but I've been here longer, so like I think I should get. But it's like, does it really work like that? I think you need a level of experience, and you also need just a level of, intelligence. You need to be capable of doing the job in order to have it. So that's why I say, like, if they have a PhD in politics, and they're like demonstrating that they are capable of it, sure, maybe.
I think maybe 30. Because
30
experience
would probably be a good age. Yeah. Like, again, when you're 30,
Yeah,
like,
at least
you've kind of lived out your 20s. Like, you're not like in that mindset anymore. You're a lot more grown. So yeah, like 30 would be fine.
I'd say 25 for Congress, but 30 definitely to be a president.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree.
In Supreme Court, I think we all can agree we need terms for that.
Oh.
Life terms are not fair.
Ew. Ew. Yeah. They kind of fucked women over that one time.
What length of term do y'all think they should get?
4.
You said 4?
Yeah.
I think 6.
6. I would say 6.
Six?
I think 6.
I would say 6.
Basically, because since president's 4 years a term, the Supreme Court technically is like it is the highest court of the land. So I think you should get 2 more years for that. I think that's logical.
Yeah.
Speaking of the highest court in the world currently, Ben Shapiro has a lot of takes. And he has a lot of takes.
He has a bit of takes, yeah.
And he did have a take about the Supreme Court, but that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about if Ben Shapiro is a W or an L.
Is Ben Shapiro a W or an L?
I mean,
he's in the middle.
He's in the middle. I think he fell off hard. He fell off really
I think
hard.
he's a hypocrite to some degree.
Mhm.
Especially with his motto, facts don't care about your feelings, but like there have been many instances of him like defying that little saying of his,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah, the clip of him fucking crying on that like British fucking interview. It's like, actually, I don't want it. Dude, that was funny as shit. It's like, actually, no, I won't be continuing this interview. And just like, dude.
The reason why is because it was pointless.
It was just
he was giving his arguments, and it's just, the moderator. I don't even think the moderator wanted to even have that interview.
No, the moderator wanted to have the interview. It's just like it was kind. He just like Ben Shapiro just didn't want to answer any fucking questions, and like the guy just kept asking like normal base level questions, and he's like, no, Republic, you're a Republican. I can't believe he called a Tory a Republican. That's fun. That's fun. All right, what you got to say?
Did y'all see the interview when there was Ben Shapiro and Piers Morgan on guns?
Guns? What happened?
Basically, Piers Morgan was basically making fun of America's gun policies, and Ben Shapiro was defending them pretty much.
Yeah, that's kind of an L clip. Defending was this before or after the Uvalde shooting?
It was before. I think it was before Sandy Hook too.
Ooh, that did not.
Talk about guns.
Well.
Dylan, what would you say? What would you say your solution is?
My solution to guns: better mental health and stricter gun laws.
Okay, I can agree on mental health. Like,
there needs to be. I agree. I think there needs to be a lot more, psychological analysis of someone before they can purchase a firearm.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Like I said, I don't think we should ban guns. I don't think that's a solution. I think people have the right to be able to protect themselves, but I also think that we need to also prevent shootings like this from happening because they are just so common in America. America's number one, and it's in school shootings. It's in mass shootings, and a bigger problem is that people, are very much like scared. There's this fear that there's just there's gonna have to be a solution. There needs to everyone needs to have a gun, so if the government goes rogue, they can and whatever. If you live by that fear, live by that fear. But I don't think that we should allow for things like this to happen. There needs to be a solution. We can't constantly let children die, and then our excuse be, but what if this situation that might not even happens? We need, it's like you're just you're just living on a fear at that point, and it's like you're not looking at the issue from the issues, perspective, and it's that this is a problem and it needs to be fixed.
So Biden and progressives in Congress, they want automatic rifles banned. And my problem with that is people are still going to get ARs if they are banned, right? You can have laws against certain things, but people are still going to acquire these things. There's the dark web, there's smuggling through the border. I mean, there's different aspects to get illegal
It's
legal entities.
okay. Yeah, they'll get stuff, but it'll be harder to get those things. They'll have to go through like so much shit. You know how the government has like a way to track the dark web. Like they can track that shit. If you purchase something like really bad, they'll find you. The government. I feel like people don't give the government enough credit. The government can do what they want.
Well, you do have a point, but as far as the border goes, there's been a lot of fentanyl smuggled, and I mean, I think smuggling guns will be pretty easy too. The border is pretty much wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the border goes, did y'all hear that? I think it was DeSantis. He sent I forgot how many migrants to Martha's Vineyard. Did y'all hear about that?
I didn't.
No.
So yeah, one of the governors, I think it was DeSantis. So there was there's a certain amount of migrants. I'm not going to say illegal, undocumented people from the southern border.
Mhm.
They were sent on like 2 planes to Martha's Vineyard, and when they got to Martha's Vineyard, they're trying to get rid of them.
Right.
So there's been criticism, obviously from conservatives toward Biden on that one, and progressives across the country.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of examples of, and that's because of the Constitution, which, by the way, it's interesting to look at. Conservatives back then were not for the Constitution, because they felt like it gave the government a lot of power, so they wanted the Bill of Rights, got the Bill of Rights, and now like the conservatives love that Constitution, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. They kind of gradually moved past, that, and that's because of the amendments. That is because the Bill of Rights provided the amendments, First Amendment, Second Amendment, blah blah blah. But yeah, like so now like they always point to the Constitution because the Constitution was never intended to kind of give the government all of this power over us. It was simply to establish what needed to be established, and that was law, and then eventually, they were like, all right, look, we need some leeway, we need to look at a way to get the Federalists and Anti-Federalists on the same page. And so they're like, all right, eventually the Bill of Rights, got ratified, because lots of people, and so, yeah, like, conservatives are generally all about having rights, and having their own liberties, their own freedoms to do what what they want to do. And that's fine, Again, the right to bear arms, I think, is a right, but I just think that we need to figure out how we can regulate that without letting 18-year-olds get their hands on guns. Because, again, when you look at these shootings, these guns were legally obtained, and I don't know if there's other things that played into that, but these were legally obtained guns. Like, they went to a gun place and got this,
There's just no background check.
And there's that's an issue when you're like, you see this 18-year-old come in here, you're not asking for their ID, you're not doing a wellness check, you're not doing anything, you just and it's like, dude, you can't, and then when you look in the grand scheme of things, we can't buy alcohol, 18-year-olds can't buy alcohol, lottery tickets, cigarettes, anything like that, but they can buy a gun, and it's like, that doesn't click right, If we can buy guns, we should be able to buy alcohol. Like,
yeah.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense because, that doesn't line up.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Those gun shops, all they care about is profit.
That's
They're
what a lot
glad
of
you're
businesses care about.
They're
Oh
glad.
yeah, that's what a lot. Yeah, they want consumers, and that's the thing I was, that's what I was talking about, like with Adele, and him selling, underage people the liquor and the tobacco and shit like that. It's like, he's doing it because he knows by expanding his demographic and expanding the people that he can cater to, he's gonna make more money. And that's just, if you simply ignore the legal restrictions that keep 18-year-olds from buying alcohol and shit like that, and you're just like, hey, look, I'll give you alcohol, just give me the money. Fuck, they're gonna fucking buy it,
Right.
because no other business does it, no big, because they can't, it's illegal. But it's like, that's
Adele's smart because he knows how like society operates. He
Mhm.
knows what the young people want to do.
Oh yeah,
And he's going to take advantage of that, and he's going to make his profit off of that. So
that's business, I mean, that's
That's
business.
just smart business.
And and I'm not, and we can't sit here and act like businesses don't always do, shady stuff from under, under the rug, and they get by. So, all businesses do that because it's just, that's like Dylan said, capitalism. They want to thrive on this. They want to thrive on their business. And sometimes they just gotta scoop under there.
If I could interject for a second. Speaking of shady business,
Mm-hmm.
there was a shady person who was cast in a really recent role.
Wait, what?
Dude, there is a person who's cast, and they look like they're covered in shit. I can't do this bit. All right, yeah. So basically, they made Ariel black, and a lot of people are very, very,
Yes.
very upset for no reason. Personally, in my opinion, I think it's the funniest case of boomers not liking black people in a while. But and then there's like a couple of people being like, "Hey yo, dude, this needs to be about African American struggles." And and then I saw a good take from a good African American person who was like, "Hey yo, not every black person in a show needs to have like a deep meaning, relating to
right.
black culture." Sure. And that's a good take. That's a good take to have. But back to the base level shit of this. I think it's really funny that boomers don't like black people, and that's all I'm seeing on Twitter. Not on Twitter, on Facebook.
I don't think
Twitter's a different.
Facebook. What the hell?
No, yeah,
There's
the
a-
people making the memes. Oh, you didn't see the memes that people were making about
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Let me see
there
if I
was
can find
one.
some.
There was one where it was like, the worst thing about Ariel being blackwashed is that Ariel actually knew her father.
Yeah. That
And then
was
there's
one.
and then there's one where
Um,
it's like Ariel, but like she's in
messed up.
chain. There's one where
Here's
it's
the
like-
one that I saw. It's the one of her. It's the one of her, and she's like, they like made her like very. They like
Weird.
painted her in a very racist, manner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did hear that there were a lot of complaints.
Yeah, a lot of
Again, this is a spectrum thing for me. You got people all the way over here who are making these offensive, gross memes about it, and then you've also got people that I think are more upset at the actual change, and not at the fact that she's being portrayed as a black person, but I think some people are just more upset that they kind of changed it, like just changed it. So I feel like if the roles were reversed, and it went from a person that was a black person to a white person, I feel like there would also be some sort of anger towards that, because it's just like you're just making this change, and I guess, and I don't know did you know what the rationale behind it was? Because I mean, again, I don't care, I mean, it's a movie, who cares, so
she looks cooler, in my opinion. But no. There was no real rationale behind it.
Yeah, maybe she was just more
Well, there
capable of
was.
the role, you know. Maybe
She
it was just
she
more,
literally was probably more just capable.
just more capable of the role, and they were just like, hey, look, play it, you know, and that's fine, you know. Who cares, you know? I'm just saying that's probably why I think some people are mad, is just because, you know, and I feel like you have to be really insane to be like, no, Ariel, you know, you have to be like the biggest fucking Little Mermaid fan to be upset about this, you know, because like, is it really that big of a deal? You know,
I saw.
is it really that big of a deal?
Josh, what you got to say?
You go.
Okay. I saw two takes on this opinion that this situation that I thought were really good. There's a group of people who are not mad that it's a change, not mad that they changed the character's color or anything about that. They're just mad that Disney's making another live action version of a classic movie and they know it's gonna suck. Like because did you guys see the Lion movie remake like in live action? It wasn't. It wasn't as good. It wasn't. It didn't have the magic that like the
Typically,
original.
typically like live scene or like live action adaptations of things, they don't go, of like shows, they don't go that well because it's just like it's clearly directed towards like, you know, a newer audience, and they don't always stick to like things that like were typically in the older movies and stuff like that. Like you don't get nostalgia from it, you know. You're just like, oh wow, it's just like this modern adaptation of like an old TV show or old movie, and it's like really garbage, you know. I think that's what some people also are mad. Yeah, they're just capitalizing off of it. Yeah, and it's just like, hey, like come relive your dreams at at the Little Mermaid thing. They're trying to cater to the older audience, you know, by like advertising this as like, oh yeah, it's this live event for whatever, you know, and then like they're also catering to the younger audience by like giving them the more fresh grained stuff, you know.
Okay. There's actually two more. There's actually two more takes on this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, there's another group of people who are just like, there was this like video on TikTok. Well, there's these like group of videos going around, and it's like people showing their like it's like black women showing their like black daughters like, you know, the trailer, and they're like, and like all the daughters are like, they're like, oh my god, she looks like me, and like that's a really wholesome take on the situation.
I thought that was
like,
really cute. Yeah.
Listen, it's been a while since the Princess and the Frog. You gotta give kids at least something
To be, you know, proud of, and something to like be inspired of. Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. Yeah, I saw a couple of those and I was like, that's really cute, you know. And again, that's why I really don't care, because like, you know, at the end of the day, you're never gonna make everyone happy, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people understand, is like there's nothing they can do that's gonna satisfy everyone. Someone's always gonna have, you know, an opinion that's like, oh, you know, fuck them for this, you know. And but it's like, if you can just at least look at the positive outcome of this, you know, where like all these little kids, they're inspired, they're really happy, and you know, they're just really happy to see representation, you know, in a big, you know, movie or whatever. That's awesome, you know.
Yeah.
At that point, just fuck whoever says anything otherwise, as long as it's making kids happy, because that's the whole point of this, is to make kids happy, you know.
Yeah.
And if it's achieving that, it's achieving it, you know.
True.
So really, and again, that's why I really don't care, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's gonna accomplish its goal, you know, no matter who's playing Ariel, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was because whoever, is it a live? I don't even know if it, like, what is it, is it a live or a movie? Like a live?
It's a movie. It's a movie.
Yeah,
it's
so
not,
maybe
it's not
yeah, I see it. I found it. So it's a movie, like it's a real movie. Yeah. So yeah, like whoever, you know, was acting or like starting for the role, you know, they were just more capable of it. Who cares? They're more. I think the bigger crime here is that she doesn't have red hair. No,
I'm pretty sure she's gonna have red hair.
I don't care about the hair either. I think but I think it's funny. It's wholesome. You know, who cares? You know, the movie's the movie's gonna do what the movie's gonna do.
But
is there already? No, don't. It's not like that. Is there already a live movie with a white character?
No. the original cartoon, the original like animated movie was white Ariel, and that's how it was for a long time. And in this new era of Disney where they want to like remake original stuffs and do live actions, they've just decided to cast a black girl as Ariel.
Well,
Yeah.
it's either one, she was race picked, or two, she was more capable of the role.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
she was
what
just
you're
more
saying.
capable
I
of the
don't have
role.
a problem with it. I'm just saying what either it was either one of the two.
And personally, I don't have a problem with either one. But I just think she was more capable of the role. She did the role, she played it well, so they were like, "Hey, we're gonna cast you as Ariel," and I don't see an issue with that. I don't see an issue with it. And I think people that are like so mad about this are like they're reaching very hard because it's like, if people are just like, oh, it's a little odd because it's a change, whatever. But like, if people are genuinely upset about this, you gotta be insane. Like, there's really nothing to be upset about for here. Like, there's nothing.
Well, it's about inclusion of race and valuing race more than acting talent. Really, that's how to put it.
Right. And I want to say she was just more capable of the role.
I
want to say she was more capable of the role.
I mean, that could have been it.
I want to say that she played it. She played it well,
yeah.
and they were just like, I mean, yeah, like I see this all the time in like television and shit like that. Like,
I mean, James Bond.
they had one TV show. I don't know if it was an anime or something like that, but they had a black person that was voicing a white person, and people had issue with that. Dylan, were you the one that told me about this?
It was like anime.
It was an anime,
yeah.
and I think they had a black person voicing like a white person or something like. And people were mad about it because they were like, "Why?" But again, it's just like
No, it's the other way around.
Was it the other way around? Oh
no, it was a black character. Someone said the voice actor for it doesn't sound black, and then you look up the voice actor for that character, and she is black. That's how it was.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all about talent.
Yeah, like if you're able to play the role,
play this character better.
Right. So again, I think it's just people that are being, stupid by like getting angry over this. I don't think anyone has a reason to be angry over it. It's not. It's nothing to be mad about. Especially when you see all these kids that are like really happy and it's about like, how could you be mad about that?
I think I saw an interesting tweet, and I think I'm gonna go with this. I'm probably not gonna watch the movie, but it was an interesting take because it was some nerd who knows Greek mythology. And basically, since Ariel's the daughter of fucking Poseidon in The Little Mermaid, he said, according to Greek mythology,
Oh Jesus!
Poseidon actually had a daughter. Actually had like 8 daughters with a woman from the land. So basically, it would make sense that Ariel's black because the area where Poseidon was very close to Africa. So it would make sense that Ariel would be black, according to mythology.
I'm sure that is what the directors were thinking when they casted her as Ariel. They were like, "Oh,
hell no."
Yeah, take all the copies of Little Mermaid out. We got to completely redo this entire franchise. We have to redo it entirely. No, like that's insane. Again, like it's just insane.
It's kind of funny
shit.
though.
It's just a movie. People can't really. Whatever option it was that I was saying, it's a movie. You can't really.
Again, it's just another example of people just being mad about something that like they don't need to be mad over. Like, is this really something to make a big fuss about?
Listen, I think this whole big fuss thing is gonna do numbers for Disney, though. Like, people are gonna it's the whole like Morbius trend where like people are like it's Morbius and Despicable Me trend where like the movie's so bad or like it's so talked about that people are going to go see it, or it's like Lightyear where like it's so controversial that people are gonna go see it.
I know, and the people that are making these memes on Facebook, like I really hope that they you know,
Fine
their
God.
employers take a real a good look at this. Any future employers or anything, they're like, oh, we got a racist, you know, fuck them.
Just
Because that's just ridiculous, you know. If it bothers you that much that you have to make like these edgy, stupid memes about it, like again, you're just stupid. You're just stupid and you suck. That's like another example, like with the whole like George Floyd memes and shit like that. You know?
Yeah, that was terrible.
Terrible. Like people
fucked
just genuinely like get off to the, and I'm like, where do you get off to this? Like this is not funny.
Right,
This
like the
is like-
dude was literally killed in fucking blind daylight.
But I'm looking at these memes of like, yeah, like I'm looking at all these memes. I'm just like, I'm not even laughing. Like, no, these aren't even funny. These are casual, racist, like, you know, memes that people are making. And like, they're sitting in their Discord call with all their little friends and they're like giggling over it. It's like, dude, is it really that fucking funny? Like, it's not that
me.
fucking funny.
It's memes like that lead to hate crimes.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. It's offensive and it's not funny, you know? Like, there's no joke about, like... And what's crazy is I feel like the same people that are making these memes would be really offended if, like, the roles were reversed and, like, it was backlash, you know, against white people, you know, because a white person took over...
And
you
it's
know,
Ariel.
yeah, and like it's like Ariel with like unseasoned like food or like just any general white stereo, you know, anything like that. Yeah,
It's Ariel
they'd be like,
holding
oh,
a
this
tub
is,
of mayo.
yeah, they'd be like, oh,
being
this
like,
is
this hot
racist,
sauce?
you know, yeah, like, oh, this is racist, you know, and it's like, dude, like they're fucking stupid. I don't know, man. I just think that whole situation was just like stupid in general. Like, it's another example of people making a fuss over something that in reality just does not fucking matter. Like, at the end of the day, she got the role because she clearly deserved the role. So, like, who fucking cares, you know? The movie's probably going to be really good, you know? Who fucking cares? If you're really that focused on, like, one character attribute that, like, doesn't align with yours, like, the way you... Like, you're just casually racist and you're a loser and you should definitely be...
Casual racism.
Very casual. Oh yeah, the people making the memes definitely
So casual.
very casual. You know, they play it off as casual. Like, hey, look at this funny meme that I made. You know, it's like,
You know, I got an opinion.
oh yeah,
Yeah, racism, kind of not funny.
no, racism isn't funny.
Yeah.
If you think if anyone like racism is just
Yo, shout
not
out to
funny.
Blizzard in the chat.
It's offensive and it ain't funny.
Do
So
we
it's like-
define jokes as racist?
Jokes. Listen, jokes with the intention to be funny can be funny, but that depends on the person you're telling it to. All right. Listen, if you say, personally, all trans people do all day is eat hot chip, play Fallout New Vegas, and lie. That can be funny. But if you instead say, "Hey yo, bro, hey yo, trans people are fucking weird, disgusting monsters that deserve to be in a grave," that's kind of not a joke. It's kind of bad. But to the person saying it, it might be a joke. It all depends on who you're saying it to. But the rule I've always gone with is if I find it funny, I won't get mad at you for it. However, if you say it to me every single day without hesitation and you laugh like you're fucking Joker about how funny your fucking joke is that you've said every fucking 5 hours, then I am not going to find it funny. I am going to walk to your house with a bat, break your kneecaps, and then I'm going to force you to listen to your fucking Joker laugh for 5 years while you are tied up in a basement and I waterboard you. Fucking die.
Yeah, no, I genuinely no, but seriously, I do think that people like try to use joking as like an excuse to be racist and like sexist and
I agree
whatever
with that.
have you. People 100% do that all the time. They say something extremely offensive. There was no like comedic, background behind it. There was no intent to be funny. It was just, I want to be a dickhead and a
look at
douchebag.
fucking stand-up comedians.
Yeah, and then when they get shit for it, there's like, oh, it was just a joke, it wasn't.
You can't say jokes now,
and I think
everybody's so sensitive.
I think they confuse like joking with not being entirely serious when you're speaking. I mean that I guess that can be a level of like joking, but like that's more of just sarcasm. And I don't think that excuses it either. You're still saying it with the intent to say it, knowing what you're saying could be offensive to some people, and I feel like that's just, if you lack that open-mindedness, I feel like you're just being, offensive.
Yeah. I just think
you're being
just
ignorantly offensive.
If you don't know how to say something slightly offensive, without being, racist or whatever, then don't say it. If you can't rationalize in your brain a funny way to say something that's like dark humor and twisted to your friends, then don't say it. Don't take the risk. Don't conceptualize, hey yo, bro, I want to say a funny joke about black people, and then end up saying, hey yo, all black people are monkeys. And then cry when you get like a ton of backlash for it. Don't cry about it. Like, you made that decision.
At least make it funny.
At least make it
funny. Laughing.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
And this is also just low effort too. Like, they're low effort jokes at that. And it's like you didn't even put any thought into the joke. Like, you just said it. Like, and it's like, again, that's just casually racist. Like, if you're saying it without even thinking twice about it, you're just racist. I mean, like, I don't know what to say. Like, you're just racist, dude. If you say that, like, if that shit just slips out like randomly, you need to get your tongue removed or something. Because I don't want to hear anything that you say at that point.
That shit people say in COD lobbies, and then they laugh about it. Dude. Yeah. Speaking of COD lobbies, oh my god. Modern Warfare 3 came out. The beta for it came out, I think, yesterday or today. They have they're gonna have proximity voice chat in the game, and I'm just thinking, holy shit, is that gonna be so terrible? Like, we already had the age of COD where you had squeakers screaming the N-word, but now it's gonna be so much worse. As far as society has come since COD squeaker days, I think it's gonna be so much worse and so much more annoying. Imagine Blake, you used to play COD. Did you play and listen to people, or did you just play with your friends?
Played and listened to people.
Yeah,
I did both. I mean, I played with my friends, but I also played just to listen to the insane shit that happens in those lobbies.
What did you hear? What did you hear? What did you hear? And can you repeat it?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Not all of it, for sure. Not all of it.
Now think about that, but think about that with the current generation of kids. Now everyone says people are too sensitive, but I think COD or Modern Warfare will be so fucking terrible. So fucking toxic. It's gonna be worse than Reddit. Arguably.
Yeah, I can't agree that people are too sensitive.
You can agree or you can't agree?
No, I can.
I think people are just really open now.
Again, I just think this all falls on a spectrum.
Yeah.
I don't think we can always give a definitive answer for some of these things. Yeah, there's obviously some people that get a little offended a little too easily, and it's just okay, sorry, I didn't mean to bust your balls like that, But then there's other people that maybe they just genuinely get offended by something, or you just shouldn't say something. It's a matter of, should you have said it, and should they have heard it? It's kind of like that. Was that okay for me to hear, and was that okay for you to say? And I feel that's where the sensitivity plays in.
Yeah, I got this. I got a cool example of this. So I got into an argument with this guy. We're gonna call him H. So basically, So basically, he left the group chat because I was talking to my friend about how I didn't like that my other friend said "nig" before like said "nig" before like everything else. And then he complained that I was too sensitive about everything, and then he left the group chat, and I never talked to him again. But
Wonder who you're
I'd be
talking
easily
about.
offended. Oh, I wonder. I wonder.
Um,
I'm gonna kill me.
no, but I mean, yeah, like again, it's like, was it something that like I could have heard and like went about my day with, or like was it something that like you said and like it was just really fucking wrong, So it's just like, yeah, I, you know, it's all on a spectrum, there you've obviously got people that are like, I should be able to say whatever I want, and I shouldn't have to get
And for
shit for
and
it,
for those people, I specifically have one thing to say to them. If I walked up to you and said, "I'm going to murder you and your entire family. I'm going to track them down and force them to eat soup. And then I'm going to send all the videos of your family eating soup to you. And it's going to be really awkward and really weird."
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel if I said that to you? You'd be like, "Dude, don't say that." You'd be weirded out. You'd wish I didn't say that. You're offended by what I said. So you're a snowflake. Think about it. Think about it.
I mean, if it was murder, like, it's a different situation. But
Hey,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're still offended by a threat.
But yeah, obviously, yeah, and again, you've got people on those extremes too. People that are like, all for harsh parenting, a little more of the tough love situation where it's like, look, I'm showing my love by being a little more strict on you, so to prepare you, no, it's more just like I'm preparing you for a world that doesn't give a shit about you, because that's another reality. The world does not fucking care about you, but and then you've also got people that are like, I want to, show you more compassion, a lot more like, love, a little more of that nurturing love, because I want you to go and be a successful person, a successful person in this world, yeah. But, and again, I feel like you gotta kind of go in both of that, you gotta give them a little more, you have to give them enough validation to go into this world knowing that people don't care about them. You can't constantly beat down on them and like, kind of show that tough love, because then they're gonna develop that mindset that like everything they do is wrong, and they're not going to go in this world as the tough person that you want them to be. You got to give them validation, and you got to give them like support, so that way they can go into this world with like the mindset that, you know what, I'm gonna conquer this bitch, and while also being a gentleman, while also being someone that has not lost their moral taste, so again, yeah, you got to kind of go into the middle with that. And depending on how you parent, that's out of my knowledge, I don't know how to parent a kid worth shit, but I do think that you just need to, you can't always go to one side, you have to incorporate a little bit of both sides. Otherwise, they're going to lack balance, they're going to be imbalanced. And I'm one who likes to be balanced.
see, my thing is you can't throw a fit if somebody misgenders you. That was my immediate thought of when you said when you were mentioning
about that, yeah,
like whether people are too sensitive or not. Because I saw some incident where somebody was arrested for misgendering somebody, and they throw a fit.
Basically, that situation happened because the person who was misgendering them I don't know shit about the situation. But anyways, what you're talking about is misgendering. You can't like I don't know about that situation that happened, but like
All I know is the person was arrested for misgendering somebody.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I had to consult the news or whatever. But basically, I think it's bad if you know the person's gender and you just keep saying, "Hey, yo, you're, hey, you're, you." Hey, I saw an interesting thing. Blake, name a movie that you like.
Iron Man.
Iron Man. What if every time I talk to you, I talk about how you don't like Iron Man and how Iron Man is a terrible movie, and I refer to you, every time I talk to my friends, I say, "Hey, yo, bro, this person he hates Iron Man. He doesn't like Iron Man. He
Yeah,
like
because
It's
in my heart, I like Iron Man, so it's like, why the
yeah,
fuck are you downing Iron Man like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing it with the intention to annoy me
yeah,
because I like it, so you're saying it, to get on my nerves, And I see what you're saying. Yeah, when you go into something and like, you're like, hey, look, I know what pronouns you go by, but I'm still gonna, refer, that's like you're gonna annoy them, because it's like that's not something that they believe. And it's just like I feel like if it's that much to you, shun yourself in your fucking house for the rest of your life, because like, if you lack that much common decency to where you can't make just one little adjustment for someone, I feel like that's insane. That's kind of insane in my opinion.
I mean, it's not that hard to like call a
No,
person like
and if it just slips out every once in a while, like, hey, look, I'm sorry, I get it. Again, it's, I mean, look, I don't know why I'm saying I get it, because I don't have to go through all that. But like, again, I would, if I were in that situation, I would be a little more understanding. Be like, hey, look, it's all good, whatever. But yeah, I do think if they're showing that like they clearly care, and like they're not just going into this like, hard on handy here, just like, no, I'm gonna call you when I want to call you, because that's how it's been for years, Well, I'm gonna be annoyed, I'm gonna be like, okay, fuck you. I'm gonna call you by something you don't want to be called. Like I'll like if I'll go up to these gym bros, that probably do shit like that, and be like, hey, you're a little girl. How about that? They're gonna get offended because that's not what they believe. They don't believe that they're a little girl. They believe they're big, strong man. So it's that same instance. Just don't say anything that hurts someone. Fuck, is it that hard?
yeah.
Let's switch the topic. Dylan and me and you talked about this, and we're gonna have to update. Oh, Josh is here.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. When it comes to social media in models, females get more likes and sponsors than men do.
Okay.
And I love. I know we talked about this last night, but I love this topic because I like talking about stuff like this. So.
So my take on it is basically how gender brain stimulation works, right? Obviously, the male will be more attracted to what we're attracted to, and the majority of male population is straight, right? So then females have the advantage of profits over modeling and shit. Say such as OnlyFans, adult scenery, shit like that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like I said, it's fucking genius. There's low costs. You don't have to really spend much. To make. It's genius. But yeah, and that was the problem that Nick has, is that he feels like there's like this double standard. But I feel like that's a double standard that is created by men. And then they complain about it. So it's like, if you're so against it, if you're so against females being able to profit easily off of, their bodies, why are you giving them the money?
Yeah.
You're saying that you're like, you're like against fast food. You're like, man, fuck fast food. You're in a fucking McDonald's drive-thru. I mean, what sense does that make? It doesn't make sense. So like, if you're so against it, don't buy into it. Don't buy into it. I mean,
I'd like to interject.
Look at all my bad, Dylan.
No, it's fine. I cut you off. But anyways, I'd like to interject. I'd
Okay.
like to bring up the statistics on Wikipedia. Cristiano Ronaldo is currently the most well, right behind the official Instagram brand account. He
Yeah.
is the most followed person on Instagram currently.
Mhm.
Now, what does that have to do with the point? I'd say, is it easier for a woman to start an Instagram and like get followers, for more than a man? I'd say it's about equal because to be a woman on Instagram and get popular, you either have to be funny, you have to like already have a following that's coming from a different platform, or you have to be ridiculously hot. For men, you have to have a following that's coming from a different platform, or you have to be hot, or you have to be funny. It's the same, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
I think
You know,
also the generalization is that women don't typically seek that. They don't typically always seek that. At least they don't do it publicly like men do. You know,
See,
I
yes,
mean, again, like I was watching in that stalker video, all
uh,
these creepy guys, they're guys, and the victims are girls. So men typically have that more lust towards women. So I feel like it's easier for a woman to gain a following from a bunch of men, because that's what they're seeking after. They're trying to find, you know, a
pick to jack off to pretty much.
mhm, mhm.
pretty
Okay,
much the horny
That's just,
men. I
that's the
mean,
reality.
horny men.
for Okay, I see your point, but I raise you. You know that guy who chops wood on TikTok and like his
Yeah.
entire
Yeah,
comment
but for every
is
guy
just
that chops wood on TikTok, there's like four, there's four different, girls that are doing little to nothing and they're getting. So, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying like that's just the reality of it. Like, yeah, I know that guy. I see the comments. There's some,
it's
girls.
just all
you know,
it's just all
Yeah,
moms like
but again, I think it's just more common for men to seek that stuff out. For men
yeah.
to seek out girls to look at and stuff like that. I think that's just more common, and I think it's also because there, and this goes into science as well. We just have our hormones are just typically
Just
more,
stimulate.
they're more harsh on us, and I'm not saying that excuses anything. I'm just saying like that's how it is.
Yeah.
Let me see your male hormones.
I mean,
Let me
dude, as
see.
far as
Yeah, see, we produce 20 times more testosterone than women. And I think that plays a role into it because it's just like let me see. It's because the testes in males produce 30 times more testosterone than they did at puberty. Men have 15 times the amount of circulating testosterone than women at any age. So again, when you look at that, it's like, yeah, obviously men are going to typically be more inclined to seek after this kind of stuff. Does it make it okay that men are just creepy fucking weirdos? No, absolutely fucking not. But I'm just saying, like, the reason why it may be easier for a woman to get big on a platform is because of all those fucking horny men. Yeah.
as far as OnlyFans goes, all these famous influencers, they all got OnlyFans, bro.
Mhm.
It's easy to take advantage of for profits.
And yeah,
Yeah.
again, it's smart.
Make your
It's
money.
fucking smart. Make your money. All power to you. Fuck. Make that fucking money. Fuck.
Katie Sigmund, she's got over 1 million on Instagram.
Exactly. Make your fucking money. If you can turn, listen, and again, that's like people, that's why I think the whole thing with Belle Delphine fucking smart,
Yeah.
Hey, what's something extremely low effort I can do that'll literally that fucking horny men will buy into? Selling bathwater.
Spit in the cup.
That might not even be bathwater. I could have just went up to the fucking tap sink and just, put a little and just called it that, But the fact that she's,
Yeah, you
marketing
can
that to people, they're like, oh shit, yeah, fucking take my money, And it's like, it's so smart, It's just so fucking smart.
I mean, definitely caused COVID with that shit. Like, let's get to the bottom of that one. Like,
I mean, fuck, it's so fucking smart. Like, and I think that's what a lot of us seek. We want to be able to do something that's low effort that makes a ton of money. So fuck all power. I fuck. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Sell your shit. Sell your fucking shit.
Basically, it's a win-win. That's what I was saying yesterday.
It is a win-win, absolutely.
It's a win for us, but bigger win for
Absolutely.
them.
But in another case, like I said, it's also, a really weird situation because she was actually on a podcast and they were asking her, they were like, hey, like, has any like guys came up to you? And she was like, oh yeah, like it happens a lot. And I'm like, that's an unfortunate downside to that is that like you got people that can't control themselves, and they act on their, fucking horniness and they start doing crazy shit. They had this one guy, in that stalker video that I was watching, he literally sold his car, sold his cat, like he put his cat up for like adoption, I guess, or like, sold it to a family or whatever. He sold his house just so he could travel to another country to find this, I think it was Amaranth.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, he sold all of his shit so that way he could go, and find. Yeah, yes, he did. He did. He did sell his cat. Yeah.
Dude, speaking of ammo, she talks about like her meet and greets with like her fans, and like she was talking to like Ludwig, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you," and like they're talking about how like they met like a while ago, and Ludwig asked if she remembered her, and and she was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you. You were the only one who like didn't stink." That's funny because just like imagine having to deal with a ton of stinky, like
gross, fucking weird. Yeah,
like want to hug you,
dude.
And, like call you baby.
Yeah, I need to show you this fucking video because what happened to the girl in Japan, dude, it was fucking nuts. Like, because you actually watch it, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with some people? Like, these guys approach her at the beach. Yeah, these guys approach her at the beach. They're talking to her, casual conversation. They tried offering her fucking alcohol. Like, they were clearly trying like something because they were like, oh yeah, like I don't personally drink, but like I like it when girls drink. And like they were trying to get like, and it's like, dude, that is so fucking weird, dude. That is so fucking gross and weird. Like,
dude,
it's weird on a different level, man.
Dude, that's why like that, dude. Okay, speaking of Japan, there was this clip. It was I think it was like Jake and Bake. Basically, he was like going through he was going through like he was just sitting on the side of the road, and then you see in the back of the camera like girl like this Japanese girl is walking right behind her. This guy's like following her, and then the girl makes like eye contact with the camera, and she darts over to the guy. He's like, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this is my friend. This is my friend." And the guy, and then the guy who's following her is like, yes. Where are you guys going? And like the streamer, like the Jake and Bake notices, and he's like, "Oh yeah, nah, we're just gonna hang around. We're just gonna hang around." And like the guy, like after a while, the guy like finally leaves, and the girl's like, "Thank you, my God, that guy's been following me for miles."
Dude, yes. They had this YouTube group, and they're like IRL streamers, and they had an instance where this girl, like, she kind of clinged over to the guy, and she was kind of like acting like she was a part of the group. And instead of throwing her out and be like, "What the fuck," they were like, "Oh yeah," and they were trying to like make conversation, and she was basically like, she was kind of like whispering over. She was like, "Hey, like this guy, like you see him behind me, like he's following me, he's being weird, just like kind of." And they were like, yeah. And they had another girl there, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like let's dance," and she, and they were like making excuses to leave and stuff. And it's like, yeah, like and that kind of just goes to show, if there's any situation where someone is like trying to be your friend, or like they're like, it's like there's a chance that they're either really trying to be your friend, or that like someone is making them uncomfortable and they're just trying to kind of ward them off, and keep them away, because obviously if they see that like you're not alone, they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, God bless," There was another instance of this. It was the same streamer, I think, the one in Japan. And dude, these guys, in every single, I think there was 3 counts. of guys like that were being weird. All 3 of them were groping her. They were getting physical with her. Keep in mind, just met, didn't even get to have like a full conversation, and they were fucking groping her. Like, you know, like they were really groping, like they were like grabbing her, they were like, you know, touching her, like slapping her, like, you know, in certain areas. And I'm like, dude, and you know, I'm like, dude, imagine what that does to you mentally. Just like a bunch of like, and you can't even walk outside, and like you just walk outside and like people are like trying to touch you and like get fit, and it's like, dude, like what the fuck, dude, you're not respecting my personal space. What makes it worse is it was in Japan, and I know Japan has a certain etiquette, and I'm pretty sure just randomly groping a girl is not in that etiquette, you know? So that makes it even worse. But yeah, in all the instances, they were like grabbing her boobs, and they were like, you know, trying to like lift her skirt. I'm like, dude, y'all are so weird for that. Y'all are disgusting.
It wasn't Jake and Bake. It was Rob CD. It was like, I just sent it in chat.
Yeah, and she was like trying to laugh it off. She was like, oh yeah, like don't do that. Like no, don't do that. And I was like, dude, like, are y'all not catching the hint that y'all are fucking weird? You know? It's like leave them alone.
You know what's the weirdest thing about those situations? Somewhere in the comments or in the brains of the people who watch that video, there's one person or there's a group of people who are like, maybe she shouldn't have worn such skimpy clothes.
Oh yeah, yeah. And like she was in like fishnets or whatever, and like you can just imagine like people would just be like, oh yeah, like, you know, she was asking for. No, she wasn't. She was not inviting you to touch her.
Dude,
unless she said, hey, you can touch me, you can do. She didn't invite you. You know, you can't interpret that, you know, as they're inviting me, you know.
Dude, I watched the clip. It was like, you know Andrea Botes?
I think so.
Basically she's like a chess girl. Her and her sister, like, you know, they're grandmasters in chess or whatever. And like, you know, there's this clip. Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. It's Andrea. She's sitting in the corner. She's sitting in the corner of like her room, and she's just chill. She's she's sitting in the corner of a restaurant, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just you know, she's just talking to her stream, and she's looking at her phone. All of a sudden, guy walks up. You can't see him on camera. He's like, "You're very pretty. Could I sit down and talk to you?" He's like, and she's like, no, I'm I was trying to record. And he's like, oh, you're like so pretty, you're like so cute. I just like love to take you on a date or something. He's like, nah, I'm just trying to straight. And it keeps going, and it keeps going, and keeps going. And you can tell like Andrea's just progressively getting more and more like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like her laughs go from it's a it's so bad, like, and then like eventually she gets the guy like away from her. It's like, dude, it's like so I pray for like women streamers. It's like so it's such a tough.
And you can tell they're just chronically fucking lonely people too. They're like so long because they have absolutely no game. I mean, I'm sorry, but like you have to have absolutely no
host.
Like the conversation, like they're like. You can tell when someone has no game because like they're constantly like trying to keep your attention on them, and like they're just like they're clearly just like, you know, they're not doing it with the intent to be your friend. You know, they're doing it with the intent, you know, to have an excuse to yeah, like to have an excuse to fucking like, you know, have sex with you or some shit, or like just be weird, you know, like. And what's weird is that like. When the girl would like say like, hey, like don't stop, you know, like stop it, you know, they'd be like, oh, you know, it's just you know, it's just Japan, you know, just Japan jokes and shit. I'm like, dude, stop excusing it. You know what you were doing. You know why you were doing it. You know, just again, I just admit it. You're a creep, and you're weird, and you need to be fucking behind bars because you're a danger to fucking society. You know,
I'm a creep. Nah, I'm a weirdo.
I mean, admit it. I mean, fuck. Like, no normal. This is what they do. They play it off as normal. No normal person walks up to a girl and, you know, starts talking to them and then starts touching them. That's just not normal. That's weird. You know, that's What they call the police on. That's why girls fucking carry pepper spray. Like,
That's why.
Would you imagine that having the like, dude? I go out all the time. I don't fucking carry shit on me. I carry my keys, my wallet, and my phone.
Dude,
I don't carry pepper spray or like weapons, because God, hopefully
you don't feel that,
gender
danger.
Yeah, like danger. I'm going to the mall. That's me. Other people are probably like, oh, I'm going to the mall. Hopefully they don't try touching me. Like it's just like they go into that. And it's just like, that's not fucking normal.
Yeah.
And that's not right to have to like feel like you have to have weapons and shit on you because there's just all these weird fucking people out there that have zero self-control. That's base.
That's fine. I think it's hard being female, but
yeah.
Nah. I forgot what I was gonna say. Dang it. I think that oh yeah, my teacher talked about this. And we read a story and it was about like Barbies and like how women from a young age are like conditioned to do like these things. It's like a story about how
I know that story. I read it last year.
But was it barbecue?
It was something like that, yeah. And it was it was about like the stereotypical, ideals that women have,
Yeah.
Wait, let me see if I can find it. Keep explaining.
But yeah, it's barbecue. But basically, yeah, it's a story. It's about like when it's like these two girls, they're playing with toys, and it's like, this girl stole this girl's boyfriend, and it's this shit, and it's stuff, and it's girls, and it's like you gotta wear makeup, you gotta look cute, you gotta hide your imperfections and shit. And I didn't understand that. I thought it was about like capitalism and shit. And then my teacher like just yesterday explained it, and like she was like, yeah, it's about like women and like this inherent like idea of femininity that's like implanted in like young women when they're kids and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and I was like, holy shit, I never thought about that. And then she was like, guys, do you like look? Do you like go to your car? When you go to your car, do you look in the back, or like do you like do all this like huge ritual to make sure
like,
that
no, yes, like no,
like guys
never.
don't have to do.
Absolutely not, because I don't have to think twice about any of that shit, And yeah, girls out there, they do, because it's like, yeah, there's just so many creeps out there, and again, it's those same people that are like, they're like, I don't know why we they're like they're against like feminism and shit like that because they feel like it pushes so much towards the female demographic, and it doesn't include males and shit like that, whatever. But like
at the end of the
day, we don't have to go through all these struggles, and I think that's what people lack. People seriously lack that self-awareness. Like, hey man, I don't have to check my car twice before getting into it. I don't have to like, go outside with pepper spray and like weapons and shit like that, because I don't have to think about that because it doesn't happen, but it does happen to girls, young girls, old girls, whatever. It happens to girls. So yeah. Like they're like always again, do I think that we should just be like, oh, all men fucking suck, fuck all men, no. I just think that we need to be made aware that like, look, there's some dangerous, gross fucking people out there, there's a lot of them, and oh, you're good. There's a lot of them out there, there's a lot of people out there with bad intentions, and there needs to be a level of awareness to that. We were talking about how like we don't have to think twice about going outside and shit like that, like some girls do.
Yeah.
My coworker, Milena, she has pepper spray on her, on the ready. Always, she has pepper spray on her.
When's the last time you've been somewhere and you were like, holy shit, I am genuinely in danger. I fear for my life. I fear that someone's going to come up right behind me and try to rape me or assault me. Well, when's the last time you felt like that?
Sexual assault, no, we don't have to deal with that. But
Oh, whoa, don't start that. Don't start that. Don't start that. Men can get sexually assaulted, and that is a problem.
Absolutely, yeah. It exists. It exists.
Oh wait, okay, wait. You say that, I want to talk about that.
no.
I kind of want to talk about like sexual assault with men because
Okay.
a while ago, Nick, I don't know if you remember, like, but Nick was like, we asked him, it was like, Nick, if you're raped by a girl, are you telling anyone? He was like, no. Why would I tell anyone that? That's embarrassing. And we were like, that, yeah, like that is this weird thing, and then. Now, a few days ago, I saw something on Twitter.
Okay.
And it was this really, really boomer idea. It was this girl, this like 30-year-old lady, and she was having sex with a 14-year-old repeatedly. And then all the comments were just like walls and walls of I wish I was that kid when I was young. Dude, he was getting it. Like,
yes. Oh, I think I saw that. Like, where? Yeah, was it a teacher? It was a teacher, right?
Yeah.
And people were like, yeah, like I wish I was that. Yeah, like what the fuck, dude? Like, no, you don't.
Like,
that's fucking damaging. Like, what?
like this idea that like, oh yeah, when like a young guy is fucking someone older, that's so wow, that's so hot. But when when little girl is fucked by older guy, that is wrong, really wrong. Like it's the same. It's the same thing. At the end of the day, you're grooming a kid. At the end of the day, you're having sex with a child.
Absolutely.
That is wrong.
It's wrong. It's fucking wrong, you shouldn't be having sex with children. I mean, fuck, what can I say,
What the fuck? Hey, what the fuck? Brady's in here.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But,
hey, what are you doing in here, partner?
Stop breaking the fourth wall, Dylan. Fuck. It's mine. That's mine. I'm kidding.
I can break the fourth wall.
I'm joking. I don't care.
It's a Family Guy cutaway gag.
But yeah, no, I think that people make these situations extremely complex, and they're just situations that don't need to be made complex. Don't fuck kids. Don't go after kids. I think that's just the mindset that everyone should go about. Don't groom kids. Don't look at kids. But people intentionally make these situations complex. Because there's this ongoing invisible battle between girls and boys. Who struggles more? And I think I told you about that video that it was like it's like that video, and it was like the girl that was like when he's like ugly or something like that, and then the guy duetted it, and he was like, how would y'all feel if it was a guy that made this? And then the other guy, the bass guy, duets it. So it was like a duet inside of a duet or whatever. And he was like, so there is this, predominantly, ongoing war between which gender struggles more than the other. Which one has more struggle, and then he goes on, huh?
Right, like which one has the privilege?
Which one goes through more, which one, there's this victim war going on between genders, and it's like which one goes through more, and then he goes on to say, I'm gonna just lay it down flat for you. You're all pieces of shit, and like honestly, fuck yeah. You're just all trash. Like, I mean, if that's how we have to do it, that's how we have to do it. You're just all dog shit, you're all poopy, pieces of manure, You all got mean spirits. That's what he said. You all got fucking mean spirits. You've all got something nasty to say about another person, And like, if you make that your entire fucking personality, you're a loser.
Yeah. But the thing is, if there's privilege, fix it. but don't demonize people over it.
Absolutely. Do not fucking start demonizing a bunch of people over it, because some people are genuinely like against it, and like when you demonize them, it's like you're not helping your cause, at all. And I don't think that's what people understand. You're not helping the cause when you demonize a certain group, because of certain struggles, You're not.
Mm-hmm.
You're making the situation a bit worse, because then you're creating another problem where it's like, in reality, we just need to come together and fix the fucking problem, But like he said, there's just this war. There's not even just this war against, sexism. It's this war within a war, because like obviously everyone, and I think like everyone can say being sexist is wrong. Being racist is wrong. But then there's this other war. There's this other war within that's like, okay, but what's considered sexism? What's considered racism? What's considered in that little, in that branch,
Yeah, for change to happen, like, you have to agree.
Absolutely. You have to acknowledge it.
What the fuck?
He was in a wheelchair. What that? Isabel sent me a video.
Okay, let's talk about the real shit. People in wheelchairs, WRL.
Oh Jesus. Oh God. I mean, I don't know.
Wheelchairs aren't L.
People in wheelchairs, WRL.
W.
Yeah, true.
They have a reserved spot in the parking lot.
Honestly, bro, sometimes I wish I was crippled.
Bro, why?
Because the handicap parking spot is the most goated parking spot. Like, when I go to Walmart, I want that handicap parking spot. I envy my grandmother.
I saw a Challenger that was parked in the handicap parking spot, and no, there was no decal or sticker.
And then I was like,
wow.
Maybe they're just mentally handicapped.
You have just exercised your entitlement today, have you? You just woke up with a fucking morning wood on your ego. You were ready. You were ready to fucking rumble. Yeah, that was like a month or two ago. I was like, oh wow, I wonder who drives that fucking car. Huh?
Yeah, I'm looking at chat. Brady's just saying, "L, just walk." I'm breaking. Just walk more. Like, it's not that hard.
Believe it or not, he's walking on air.
All right. All right. Jesus. Let's talk about Jesus. I know I'm hopping around topics, but we are at like a minute, like an hour 40.
Yeah,
so
we've only been on this podcast for a minute. 1 minute and 43 seconds.
Yeah, a minute 43 seconds.
We brushed through like 500.
This podcast weird. I'm gonna go. Bye, Mike.
All right, Mike.
Bye. Everybody wave bye to Mike. Bye, Mike. Bye. Mike.
Yo, Jesus was a white guy.
Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus!
No, I want to talk about
that debate. Is like that is like an entire different cesspool of just fucking nutty shit.
I mean, think about it. That relates to the mermaid debate.
Well, no, because Ariel is like Ariel's like. I mean, like,
No,
according to Greek mythology.
Well, here's what I'm saying. And we all can agree it's the white people who are complaining about it, right?
That's true.
So, and the white people are pretty much generally okay with Jesus being portrayed as white, correct?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There's a double standard there. Because Jesus obviously wasn't, and they're okay with that because it benefits them. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't know, man. Because listen, I don't even dabble with religion that much,
Yeah, sorry to derail the podcast, but I need to go talk to my manager real quick. I'll be back. All right.
Jesus. I don't even dabble that much with religion, but like, I guess because like of where he was, because like there's no way of really knowing you know, but obviously, like, I'm pretty sure he was like Middle East. But I don't even think any of that like matters, you know, like who fucking cares what race Jesus was? Like, was it that big of a deal? Like, does that impact in any way like what he did, you know, in the stories and stuff like that? Like, does him being a certain race, like, does that, you know, impact the message that I guess like he was trying to get by, you know? To some people, maybe. To others, I mean, I don't think it really did, you know? Because again, you gotta understand, like, artists and people who portray Jesus, you know, they didn't always portray him as, you know, white. They didn't always portray him as Middle East. You know, he was portrayed in like almost every different fucking race. Which honestly, I actually think that's pretty cool, you know, if, you know, for Christians, and people that are kind of like all about that, you know, everyone's a child of God. I think painting Jesus in a different race is kind of cool because it kind of just shows that, you know, there's no limit. You know, Jesus doesn't just love white people. He doesn't just love black people. You know, he loves everyone, you know. So I don't think we should be debating on the race, but I just think that we should just be like, hey, who cares what his race was, you know? We can represent him, you know, however we want. You know, and if people want to look at him in a certain race, whatever, you know. Again, it's Jesus. Like, it doesn't, you know, that doesn't take away or add to what he did, you know, or like to what the stories say he did, you know. Him being white doesn't make it any, you know, what he did any more impactful than him being, you know, another race, you know.
Yeah.
So, like, if you want to look at him in one sense, look at him in one sense, you know. It doesn't change the message or change like what he did, you know. It's just different race. I mean, fuck. I just don't think we should be debating over it, you know. It shouldn't be a subject of debate because it really just doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah. Well, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think we should be debating like shit like that. I don't think it truly matters, you know.
Like,
what his race was. What are you getting from him being a certain race? Yeah, like, what are you getting from that? Like, yeah.
We're going off of a book that's written how long? Shit, like thousands of years, 3,000 years ago, 4,000, 5,000.
Yeah, the book's old as hell.
So it's like, we don't really know anything.
Right. Right, yeah. Like, it's all just up for interpretation, you know? You can only interpret so much from that, you know? You can only look at pictures, you can only look at art, you can only look at certain things and say what you believe, you know?
Yeah.
So I really just don't think it should matter. No, I don't think it should matter. People want to look at him as freaking the flying spaghetti monster. Who fucking cares? And that is going to wrap up our topics. We've brushed through all of our topics. We spent about 2 hours covering it. Nick has just disappeared from the land. Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
That was a good one.
Discussions are great.
Bro, we should keep doing this.
Yeah. Rosh is my P. No shot.
Bro, I gotta go wash my hands. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yo, I'm back. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, we're ending it, Dylan.
Yeah.
Wrapping it up.
Did you guys end it cool?
Nope.
Yeah.
We're still live.
Oh.
Any final thoughts?
I